Today, I've got a really good 10-minute stretching routine for you that is so ideal for back and hips that just feel really tight, really stiff, especially by the end of the day. I highly recommend this routine for you as you're winding down in the evening. Let's get started. Okay, we're gonna begin standing up straight because we're gonna kind of wind our way down, working up on our feet first and then slowly kind of simmering at the end, which feels so good in the evening, or really any time of day. So have your feet together, arms are gonna reach really high up overhead. And I want you to take your right foot and cross it over your left, and then you're gonna stretch your body to the right. You can bend that right knee a little bit, really pressing your left hip out to the side. So it should feel like it's really digging into that left side hip. Spin and look up underneath your left armpit. Big exhale. And then come back up gently to vertical. Set your right foot back where it started, and we'll do the other way. So cross your left foot over your right, and we're gonna lean directly left, kind of pushing your right hip out to the side. You should once again be feeling that deep kind of crescent side style stretch. Go ahead and look up to the ceiling. Takes a little bit of balance there. Go ahead and rise all the way back up to vertical. And we're gonna sit down into a little bit of a half squat, keeping the hips nice and warm. This is gonna help us dig into those hips a little deeper when we get there, but we're sitting into a squat. Feet are still together, knees are together. Take your right hand and put it on the outside of your left knee. We're gonna reach the left arm up to the sky. Big rotational stretch here. Bring that hand back down to the center. Stay in that seated position like you're perched on a little bit of a bar stool. Exhale as you reach up. Hips should feel anchored. Knees should not be moving or shifting. Let's go one more. Keep your shoulder blade down your back. And then rise up out of that squat. We're gonna go the other direction now. So sit down into that squat again. Anchor your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Reach your right arm up. And go again. We're going 5 of these. It does help to exhale. At the top, we're really using your muscles to pull you into that far end range of motion. Let's go one more here. And release. Push through your legs to stand on up. Come to the front of your space. Balancing on your feet, we're gonna take your left foot and step it all the way back to the end of your mat. See if you can anchor your fingertips on the floor, and we're just gonna ease your hips to the floor, and then see if you can start to straighten that front knee out. We're gonna stay in motion here, just easing your hips down. You don't have to touch that back knee yet, and then straightening the front leg out. Pressing your hips down and forward. Rocking back, see if you can start to get a little straighter through that front leg. Hips go low and forward. Rock it back. One more just like this. Rock it really, really deep. Sit up tall with good posture. And then rock it back. If you feel really open, you can even lift up onto your heel with that front foot. Bend that front knee again. Push off with your back leg. Step to the front of the mat. Step back with your right foot. Digging into those hips on this side now. We're rocking, staying in motion, really warming up your muscles so that we can really stretch into them, opening up those hips. The more open and flexible your hips are, the less tension they create through your low back. It really makes a huge difference. I know it's so tempting to want to stretch out your low back when your low back is achy, but really it's your hips that need all the attention. Last one here, rock it back. You can see if you can come up onto your heel with that front leg, then bend into that front knee. We're gonna switch sides again. This time we're gonna set that back knee all the way down. Lay that foot down flat, rise up into a half kneeling position. If you need to bolster or put more of a cushion up under that knee, you can. Tuck your tailbone under, and we're gonna press your hip bone forward, making sure that you never lose that pelvic tuck, because that's gonna allow you to get that really good quality hip flexor stretch here. So we're just gonna press your hip forward, really finding that deep end range of motion. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Keep pressing that left hip forward. Keep breathing, shoulder blades down your back. We're starting to wind down a little bit now. One more deep breath here with this left hip. And then rock it back. Send your right foot forward a little bit further. Come up onto your heel of that right foot and then tip your tailbone out behind you, like you're almost trying to arch your back. And then use that motion to kind of initiate that backward pull. So we're finding a stretch here now in your hamstring. If you need to hold on to a wall or a couch or a chair, you can, just for balance. It should feel like the more you push your hip bone out behind you, the more it's pulling away from your heel, and you're getting that really good hamstring stretch here. Keep breathing, easing into it. If you can come down on your fingertips, great. Stay here, or if you are easily on your fingertips with me, go ahead and keep your left fingertips planted. We're going to intensify this just a little bit by rotating to the right and reaching the right arm up to the sky. At the same time, it should feel like you're pulling your right hip back. It's going to dig into those hip flexors, excuse me, not the hip flexors, your IT band. Lateral hamstrings, the outside edge of your thigh. Big deep breath. Bring that hand back down to the floor and then rock into that knee, gently easing out of it. And we're gonna switch sides. So now plant the left foot forward, come up, right knee is down on the floor. Remember, we wanna make sure that your tailbone is tucked. You can really squeeze that right glute to make sure that that tailbone is staying tucked, your glute is activated, and you're gonna press that right hip bone forward, really targeting your right hip flexor. I always find that if I let my back heel kind of flop out to the side, it almost pulls it into a stretch even more. Let's reach the right arm up to the sky. If you're a side sleeper, you spend hours at night with your hips in a bent position. So doing this hip flexor stretch here is so good before you go to bed. It's also great first thing in the morning to kind of straighten yourself out. One more deep breath in. Bring that hand back down. Take one big step forward with your left foot, and then we're going to straighten that front leg out. Tip your tailbone out behind you, so you're trying to kind of arch it out, and that should feel like it's pulling your sit bone away from your heel cap. Okay, so right at that heel. Hold on to a wall if you need to. Continue to push your hip back, and that gives you that really intense hamstring stretch here. If you're with me and you want to go a little deeper, plant your right fingertips on the floor, and we're going to open up rotational reach to the left, really drawing that left hip back. Keeping in mind that the looser and more flexible, more mobile your hips are, the happier your back is going to be, the happier your hips are going to be. Go ahead and ease up out of this, bending that front knee. We're going to finish up on your back for a couple really good, feel-good stretches. One of my favorites. This is our figure 4 stretch. So you're going to lay down on your back, nice and anchored. Take your left ankle, set it on top of your right knee, and allow your left knee to kind of press away from you so that it's as flat as possible. That could be enough right there. You should be feeling that stretch deep in this left hip socket. If you want to take it deeper, pick the whole unit up off the floor, pulling both legs towards you. You can even grab through your thigh and hold on to the back of your thigh with your hands, with both hands clasped behind there. Squeeze in towards your chest, but not so much that it lifts your tailbone up off the floor. You want to keep your tailbone anchored on the floor, kind of pressed down into the floor. Keep squeezing and breathing. Keep your foot flexed. Go ahead and gently release the whole unit so the right foot comes back down onto the floor. Release the left foot. You can even straighten it out, shake it out, get that stretch to release. Let's do the other side. So cross the right ankle over your left knee. Allow the left knee to fall open, keeping this foot flexed. By flexing your foot, it will protect your knee joint. Kind of creates a little bit more tension through those muscles around your knee joint. If you want to take it deeper, let's pick the whole unit up, grabbing through your thigh, pulling inward. Big deep stretches here. Slowly winding down your body, getting that stress to release. Go ahead and gently release. We'll finish with one final stretch. This is one of my favorites. So we're still on your back. You're gonna bring the soles of your feet together and create a diamond shape with your legs, allowing your knees to fall open. If this places any undue pressure at your low back, make sure that your pelvis is staying tucked under. Allow your knees to fall open. This is just a very passive hip opener. Shoulders relax, legs feel heavy. You should be feeling the stretch on your inner thighs, the groin area. And take about 2 big deep breaths in here. One more deep breath in. Feel free to stay in this position as long as you want to, as long as it's comfortable to you, or you can rise back up into a seated position very carefully and gently. I hope that felt so good for your tight back and hips. It's amazing what we can accomplish in just 10 minutes. Thank you so much for stretching with me today. Make sure to let me know what you thought about this one in the comments below. I love to hear from you, and I'll see you soon.